So I am Tracy Cox. I am with Teams In It to Win It, and we are so excited to have you here tonight. I am going to have my co-presenters introduce themselves too. So we'll go Tracy, Heidi, and Charla.
Hi, everyone. I am Tracy Manning. I am a lead director. I've been with One Hope it will be 5 years this June. And I am in Castle Rock, Colorado. And I'm Team Corks and Causes.
Hi, I'm Heidi Jacoby. I'm from San Jose, California, but moved my family here about 1.5 years ago. I'm in Fort Collins, Colorado. I am a lead impact director, and next month I will celebrate 2 years. And my team is Pouring with Purpose.
Hey everyone, I'm Charla Schaefer from Las Vegas, Team Viva Vino. I am director with One Hope. And just like Tracy here I think it's July actually for me, it will be 5 years with One Hope. So excited to be here sharing with you all.
So awesome. I love how we have everybody from all across the nation, and we have so many different people that have been here for a long time, that have been here just brand new, like new little babies. You have that new car smell, that new baby smell, right? Awesome. I've been with One Hope for about 6 years, and I just have to say that I absolutely love it. And I hope that you all do too. So we are going to talk about our Fast Start program tonight, which a lot of you are still in. And then we're going to talk about Rutherford Rewards, because this is our incentive period right now. So you can earn some amazing prizes, including a trip for two to Napa, or a stay for two at Napa at the actual winery and estate. And then we're going to go into some virtual tasting hints and tips and stuff with Charla. So to take it away, let's go over to Tracy Manning.
All right. And just a little sidebar. Can I give it all the Tracys? Look, we've got 4 Tracys on here. When does that happen? And we've got all the spellings covered, almost all of them. So anyway, thank you all for being here tonight. We're super excited to chat with you all, raise a glass with you all. When people are muted and talking, we're going to drink, we're going to do all that fun stuff. But my first tip, I'm going to talk about Fast Start, but my first tip is if you, I think, was it David that said you're 33 days in? Okay. I'm going to assume you didn't wait for your starter kit, did you? Did you just come out of the gates the day you signed up, regardless if you had wine in hand? Give me a thumbs up.
I booked an appointment, an event immediately.
Okay, so let's all do what David does, right? So any of you who are total newbies, like, doesn't matter. Don't wait for that starter kit. Start sharing, start telling, friends, family, posting, just sharing the world of One Hope with everybody you know before you get that starter kit. And especially now in time of pandemic, it's not like we're, running over to people's houses to share wine. But so we wanted to ask, did you try the wine before you joined? So Tracy put together this awesome poll, and here we go. So I will tell you, about 5 years ago when I joined, I had sampled maybe one wine randomly, but I just came out of the gates and I was like, I'm going to do this. We did not have a Fast Start program like we currently have, and I'm jealous. So all of you who are in Fast Start, whether you're 2 months into it, 3 months into it, whatever, there is still huge opportunity for you. There are 4 ways to earn. I love it. Look at this. Everyone is saying no. I love that. Anyway, 4 ways to earn your Fast Start. So there's the Rockstar bonus, there's the sales bonus, there's the team building bonus, and your first time promotion bonus. And each one of those has different layers within it. And the first and foremost, Rockstar bonus, come out of the gates, and within your first 2 weeks, sell $500 and you're going to get a 6-pack of wine. I mean, hello, you got your starter kit coming, and then you're getting the 6-pack of wine on top of that. So, I mean, look at those beauties you're going to get just for selling $500 in your first 2 weeks. and then, okay, think about your fast start earning period. It's 3 full months. But if you join, let's say you join March 1st, you have March, April, May, and June, because you get the month you started, the month you signed up, plus the 3 months. So you're getting 4 months essentially when, and then you have Fast Start 100, 200, and 300 to earn these bonuses. So sell 1,000 by the end of your first month, you earn a $100 bonus. Fast Start 200, sell 2,000 by the end of month 2, and get $200 bonus. And Fast Start 300, by the end of your third month, sell 3,000 and you're in 300. Now, did a little math, played with some numbers, but through all of these 4 ways, the Rockstar bonus, the sales bonus, the team building bonus, and the first time promotion bonus, you can earn at least $1,950, $1,950. But when you get into the team building bonus, it is unlimited $50 bonuses. So you can add these unlimited $50 cash bonuses to that $1,950. I mean, does everybody just hear the money falling already? Like, money's dropping. I encourage my team, like, get after this fast start. There's no time like the present to just go for it, go big, go strong. I don't know, Tracy, you want to show them the program worksheet if you, right. So, I mean, fill this out. We are totally encouraging you. There'll be an action item later, but fill out this fast start worksheet. Heidi's going to talk about her tracker love. And we're going to hit on some of that stuff later, but if you don't write it down, you don't have a solid plan. So write it down, brainstorm it, look at it, post it, put it on your bathroom mirror. I will tell you, in the 5 years I've been doing this, every time we have an incentive, I have it on my bathroom mirror and I have it on my office wall so that I can see it. And so, like, I'm brushing my teeth in the morning going, all right, where am I at? What do I need to do? And it's present, it's there, it's in front of me. And something can trigger at any time, like, oh my gosh, duh, because it's in front of me. If it's not in front of me, and I'm totally a paper girl, like, I still live old school, handwritten calendar. But these tools from One Hope will strongly help you. I mean, these fast start programs, they're there for earning. They're there for a reason. People are doing it. And one of the messages that's really big in One Hope is that what we're doing is duplicatable. So if it's been done, it can be done. So let's all get out there and do it. I mean, Tracy, Heidi, Charlotte, anything to add?
No, I think you're right on with saying that, take out these sheets and actually use them to your advantage, because it gives us all such a visualization. Does anybody have any questions about Fast Start, or Charlotte or Heidi, was there something else you ladies wanted to tag in on?
I'll just say,
I was just going to ask if anyone in here, to kind of tell the others. I know we have a couple people like Jennifer earned Fast Start. Like, who's hit their Fast Start? I mean, who cashed in on some of that, on that cash? There's right?
Yeah, right. Raise your hand.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And once you hit those levels, you'll find how it's just that much easier to hit the next one. And, you can hit that $300, that third bonus in your first month too. You don't have to wait for that third month. And so I think that that's pretty awesome that you can just start raking that cash in right away.
Yeah, that is awesome. Heidi, what were you going to say?
It might have fallen out of my head, but I will say this. I highly recommend going for every single thing. Don't feel like it's that difficult to do it. This is not brain surgery. It's wine. It's giving back. It's the most magical company I've ever been with. It's just the magical combination between wine and giving back and inviting people to do it with you. And Fast Start is the very best time to invite people with you. You don't have to wait to know how to do it. Bring somebody with you. It's way more fun to learn with a friend. As you're finding out different things, you'll be able to message them and go, oh my gosh, did you find this? I just found out this. Like, Andrea Black, who's somewhere in the mix of Brady Bunch squares, she was one of my very first teammates. And when we would learn stuff, we'd be like messaging each other. Oh my gosh, look what we did. Oh, did you see this? Oh, did you see this? Oh, hey, this worked for me. I just said this to this person and it worked. Or, you know, it just helps so much. And know that if it can be done. So I will say our team, Pouring with Purpose, was the very first impact director team. So that means we hit director in our fast start. And that was when fast start was 2 months. So I promise you, it's not rocket science. It's totally doable. Every single one of you that's sitting here can absolutely hit director as fast as you want to. We have all the tools. We have the most magical wine and give back and comp plan and bonuses and all the things. So just go for it. You can't mess it up. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You just have to keep asking. So that's that.
Right. Well, and I think also too is it's, you joined for a reason. So the day you clicked join, why not start the minute after you clicked join? Like, just get out of the gates. You don't need a physical flyer in your hand. You don't need the bottle in your hands. You just need to start sharing and telling everyone and anyone you talk to what you're doing and why you love it so much. And your passion will speak for it. So, and if you guys have specific fast start questions, we can either do a couple raise the hands right now or throw them in the chat box, right, Tracy?
Yep. Does anybody have any questions on fast start while we're at this section? I don't see any. If you think of something later, feel free to drop it in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to go on because fast start is going to lead you down to get some incentives, and Heidi is going to tell you all about that.
Yes, so I do this business because I need to provide for my family. But you know what? If they're going to throw in some cash bonuses or they're going to throw in a trip, I'm for sure going to say thank you and go for it. Because if you shoot for the biggest thing, you're going to make some money along the way. So I highly recommend going for it. Those of you who are on here that are in your fast start, Rutherford Rewards is like a magical thing that they made just for you, where you get double PCV points just because you're new, which is so crazy. So if you have not yet done this, I highly recommend printing out your tracker, this cute little one that actually our fearless Tracy Cox created. I highly recommend printing it out and using your pretty markers or whatever you want to do. I will say the very first incentive trip that I ever earned was because, I mean, obviously it was work, but also I think it was greatly affected by the fact that I had a printout. Every time I came home from doing an event, I would color in a little box, or every time I got an order on my website, I would color in a little thing. So it puts it top of mind, like what Tracy Manning was saying, like it'll just make it, you're thinking about it more, you're having more confidence about your why you're even in this company. And so it's going to change the way that you go about your day, and it's going to change the conversations you have with your people. And so highly recommend printing this baby out and filling it up. This is just to the 10,000, which is the very first level, which is going to get us a gorgeous branded One Hope tray. Everything in the prize boxes, they're all really nice. Like, is everybody excited about the different options? Yeah, they're good, right? I see David going, yeah. I know in our house, our family's really excited and hoping that I get the TV, because when we moved from California to Colorado, we broke our TV. So we've got like lines going across the top. It's so janky. So I'm looking forward to the TV, but I'm also really excited about the Nespresso maker. So Tracy, can you show us the rewards on the screen? Yes. So all of you guys should have one of these little guys that you printed out, hopefully. Bring Rutherford Rewards home. So I love that they didn't just throw out a trip. They also threw out all these really fun things that are in the estate. So the estate is like the fanciest, most beautiful luxurious place ever. So every single item is just going to be beautiful, and you'll be able to have it in your own home and just kind of take it up a notch and just have a little reminder of One Hope. So level 1 is the branded serving tray. Level 2, there's my Nespresso with the frother. I'm excited about that. I think we're gonna do are we doing a poll on this? Like what prizes people want? Or are we just gonna ask?
You're done.
Pardon?
When you're done going through them, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, and then there's cooking things if you do crazy things like cooking, you know, the Yeti, Doodah, the Vitamix, the sound bar. I know Tracy Cox wants the sound bar and the TV. That's for 15,000 points. Moving on to 20,000 points. And you get all the things along the way. So it's not just you get the thing at the very end. You get all the little things along the way. And they're not little things. So knives, treadmill. I don't know if anybody else enjoyed gaining the quarantine instead of 15. I think it was 50 for me, maybe. We can get the treadmill. There's a pizza party oven with the Coravan system and that beautiful picture frame TV. If you're like me, you have tried to win a picture frame TV on Instagram. Like every time somebody says, oh, just follow my 18 friends and you can win a TV. But we can just do it this way and actually do it while giving back. And then moving on, level 4 is a 2-night stay at the estate, at Estate 8. And it includes wine tasting and a breakfast for 2. I don't know if you guys know this, but the wine tastings are going to cost about $125, I think, last time I looked, per person to go to the estate, to the tasting room. And then an awesome breakfast. I'm sure Dan's going to make it. He's this magical guy that lives at the estate and takes care of all the things. And then bump it up to level 5 if you really want to go for it and get those 40,000 points. That $1,000 travel credit can help you pay for your plane ticket to get to Napa. Or if you're in San Jose and it's just a quick little drive, heck, you got spending money when you get up there. So lots of really, really great prizes that we can go for. I say circle the things that you think look the best, and then let's look at how we can earn the points. So being in Fast Start. If you are in Fast Start, for every 1 PCV that you sell, you're going to get 2 points. If you are not in Fast Start anymore, you're going to get 1 point. So it's easy, 1 for 1 or 2 for 1 if you're in your Fast Start. So how much are you going to sell each month? I printed out, because, I like printing things out. I printed out and actually filled out this form. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, there we go. The tracker, the challenge tracker. And I went through and what you're used to or what your stretch goal would be. I know that I always want to sell at least 3,000 a month. So I wrote in my goal was 3,000 for each month. I may want to bump that up actually, so that I'm stretching to a number that I'm, used to doing. So you've got a little spot for your goal. And then at the end of the month, you're going to get to actually write in the actual number. And based on if you're in Fast Start or regular, you can write in the points that you've earned. Then we can just go down this tracker together. The other way you're going to earn points is by bringing friends along. So mentoring people, helping your CEs get off to a fast start. So Fast Start, for your that Rockstar bonus, if you help somebody hit their Rockstar bonus and get that free wine, that means they're going to get their wine, right? And then you're going to also get 500 points. One thing I love about the Fast Start program is that even if somebody, life happens and somebody doesn't make their Rockstar bonus, it doesn't mean they can't earn the other things. It's all kept up for you. It's all keeping track. You can just go for the next one. So the next goal for you is Fast Start 100. If you hit Fast Start 100, awesome. Your mentor is going to get 500 points, and you're getting your double PCV points all along the way, and then all the way up to Fast Start 300. So each time you're able to help somebody achieve one of their goals where they're getting money and points, you're going to also get points as well for helping them do that. So you want to bring a couple friends along with you. It's always more fun to do things together. Moving on to grow, first time promotion. So if you want to promote to senior cause entrepreneur, that's just you plus 2 people. So SCE is you plus 2. So you're going to sell 600 and you're going to find 2 people and you're going to help them sell 300 each. That's all SCE is. It's not like you have to recruit 20 people or something. It is not a crazy hard goal to do. I promise anybody can do this. So find 2 people, help them qualify, get their 300 PCV, you sell 600 PCV, boom, you hit senior cause entrepreneur and you get 1,000 points. But wait, it's February. If you decide to do it this month, all of the growth promotions are double. So if you were going to earn 1,000 for hitting senior cause entrepreneur in February, now you can get 2,000 instead. Pretty awesome, right? And then it just goes up from there. And you know, along with all of these promotions are cash bonuses as well when you're in your fast start. So if you want to jump up and hit impact director, that's $1,000 bonus. I will tell you, that was ridiculously helpful for me and my family. It helped my daughter have a birthday party at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. It helped us with getting the rest of the stuff we needed for our move from California to Colorado. $1,000. I don't think anybody would be like, no, I'm good. I don't really need it. It's fine. Right? There's, even if you wanted to donate the 1,000, I'm not in that position at the moment. So highly recommend going for the promotions. And just know in February, you're getting double. You're getting double for first time promoting, and you're also getting double for helping somebody first time promote. So pretty awesome, right? Moving down, we have rank consistency. The other way we're going to get points is by consistently hitting different ranks. Senior cause entrepreneur, remember that's you doing 600 and 2 people doing 300 each. If you get paid at senior cause entrepreneur, SCE, that's $1,000 for you. You get paid at that, that's your monthly points for that. And all the way up, you've got up to, heck, you want to jump up and join Jess Landau at National Executive Director, that would be 8,000 points. Not too shabby. So I love that this tracker also at the very bottom reminds you of the different levels you can earn. You can fill it all out and kind of make a plan. Definitely, if you have any questions about how to make your plan, reach out to your upline or any of us that are on the call. We'd be happy to walk through it with you and make a plan. I would say because February is double promotion bonus, this is your week to go for it and hit SCE if you haven't yet. It's you doing 600, 2 people doing 300. Somebody can join at $199. That's what, $169 PCV? They only need to sell like a case, and they've sold, they're at 300 PCV. It's not a crazy difficult thing. Andrea Black has, she helped her sister hit SCE like in 2 days. It's totally doable. So you just have to find somebody who wants to do it. And then they find 2 people that want to buy some wine and enjoy wine and give back. And you're at SCE with double points. You're also getting cash bonuses and all the fun stuff that goes along the way. So am I missing anything? Sometimes I talk too much or too fast or too long. So.
No, Tracy asked, is it being tracked in a report somewhere at the back office level?
Good question. There is going to be a tracker. We've heard rumors. It's just not happened yet. So what I recommend is printing out this guy. I did see a meme recently that said if you're under 25, stop asking those of us that are under 25 to print things out because we don't have a printer. So if you don't have a printer, you can have this on your phone and you can draw on it and fill it out, you know. But yeah, keep track of your own points for now. And then you can double check when they have the tracker up and running, because you always want to make sure that they're doing it accurately, you know, like just in case something goes off. You want to be like, wait a minute, I helped that person hit Rockstar. That was 500 more points I need. So I highly recommend using your little sheet and your bottle, fill it out. Let's go for it. Any other questions along the way?
She has a question.
Where's the bottle?
Oh,
Where's that bottle picture? Where do I print that from?
Yeah.
It's either in our team page, Shannon, our team Facebook group, or it is in the CEMH sharing page, but I can pop it in the chat in just a second and you can download the file from there too.
Okay, because I was looking for it and I just didn't know if I didn't go back far enough.
No worries, I'll pop it in the chat.
Awesome.
So who wants to take a little poll so we can see what it is that you're going for with your rewards? There's 3 questions. There's what you're going for level 2, for level 3, and who you're going to bring to Napa with you.
Nice.
So there you goes the poll.
Love it.
So you can just scroll down and answer all the question.
So fun. And we're not answering it, right?
I don't know if it'll let you because you're a co-host.
Yeah, I don't think it's letting me.
Yeah.
Or I'm not doing it successfully.
Well, people go.
But you can tell, we know what you're going for, Heidi.
Everybody knows because I was like, I don't care if you don't care what I'm getting. I'm excited about the Nespresso.
I'm getting that Le Creuset to start. Like
Ooh.
that's just, I'm a Le Creuset addict. So
Nice. I have a lot of friends that went for Le Creuset for push prizes when they had their children. The push prizes kind of showed up after I had my kids, so I feel like I missed out, but I may need to request it.
it was a quarantine purchase for me. My second one, like the big cast iron. It was like the, well, I have to cook every day now. So
Keep making us feed them.
Tracy, I like that you put in there. I like that you put in there my best customer, my guest in Napa. It makes me think. I mean, to me, it's a great idea, but I don't know that I'm gonna share a room with my best customer.
Maybe your best friend or somebody that's really close to you too. So I mean, you never know. I mean, mine's not, but
Yeah.
Right. No, mine either. Or, gee, I could be really giving and say to my best customer, you take your wife to Napa. No, no.
No, we'd all.
I don't think prizes are transferable, and typically when they do prizes too, you can't bring another CE with you. It has to be someone who's not in the program.
Correct.
To be someone like that. So I am going to end the poll.
I think that TV and that Nespresso are the and the spouses or significant others or the winners there.
That's fun.
I love it. I think my daughter wants me to take her. She will be 21 in July. So I think at this point, she's thinking that I should take her once she's turned 21. And then after the trip, she can sign up and sell One Hope.
There you go.
I don't know necessarily. Well,
That's a good recruiting tool, Heidi.
yeah, I know. Right?
Yeah.
I like how nobody loves their mom and dad. Everybody's like out on mom and dad.
I know.
I'll send you a postcard, Mom.
Yeah. I used to want to take my mom places, but she was also a cause entrepreneur, so she was ineligible. So then I take my cousin Brenda is normally, well, not to Napa because Brenda doesn't like to drink wine, but she's gone on all of our
Brenda's been to Mexico.
Wow.
Yes, virtual Mexico, real Mexico. So, and now we're gonna go to Italy because that's what the trip is that we selected from our other one. So. Yeah. Anybody have questions on Rutherford rewards? How to earn them? How to track them? Nope.
Good.
Oh, wait. Was there one, Shannon?
Okay, I'm a little slow. I've been drinking too much wine. So
Go, Shannon, go.
That's good training.
So I want to make sure I'm understanding where is it? One moment. I want to make sure I'm understanding, like when I look at how much money I sold in dollars, how that's reflecting the points. Is it $1? if we're not in our fast track, is it $1 per point or
Yes.
two points per dollar? Am I hearing that right? Or could you clarify that one more time so I can make sure I'm tracking it right?
Do you want to
So
take that?
one point
Well,
per.
I just wanted to make sure that you're talking. So it's not per dollar sold. It's not the retail value of the product. It's the personable commissionable volume is what you're tracking, your PCV, which is in your back office under reports. The first screen that pops up, it shows you what your PCV is. So it's the PCV that you're tracking, and you are in fast start, so you get double for it. So if you sold, if you're at 400 PCV, you have 800 points. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I didn't know to look in the reports to see that, so I'm gonna check that out right now.
Anybody who's new, when you're in fast start, you're kind of going on two different like thought processes. But if you just keep in mind, every month in order to qualify, you need to sell 500 retail. That's pretty much right around 300 PCV, and PCV is what we get paid out our commissions on. I can pop into the chat a little PCV chart that I made, and also I have a little book that kind of tells you where to go and find your PCV. So I'll pop that into the chat as well, so you can take a look at that.
Awesome.
All right.
And anytime anybody's wanting to look for their PCV, if you want to see the most up-to-date, like most minute to win it, the most accurate or up-to-date points for PCV, if you go to your reports, my team, and levels genealogy, that shows your PCV and anybody that you've invited into your team. And it shows it really like almost by the minute. And yes, 300 PCV is what you need to qualify. And the qualifying means that you've sold the 300 PCV, you get some reward points for that. In the month of February, you're actually going to get extra reward points. So anybody who's on here, make sure you're qualified at 300 PCV so that you can get basically $30 extra in reward points for the month of February. So that's a bottle of wine. That is this bottle of Rutherford Sauvignon Blanc right there, baby. $30. So that's like a free little bottle of delicious white wine.
I popped the file in the chat. So if you go over to the chat, you can click it open and download it to your computer. It tells you where to find your PCV. It also tells you kind of a breakdown of, what it takes to be an SCE, what it takes to be an ECE, director, and a blank chart so you can fill out each month as well. So feel free to click that out. And without further ado, we're going to go to Charla. She's like the queen of virtual tastings. I've attended a couple of her tastings. I'm like, can I come? And of course I had to bring my own wine because I was far away, but that was okay because that's what our customers do too. So Charla, take it away.
Thanks, Tracy. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Heidi and Tracy, also for sharing all of that knowledge about Fast Start and Rutherford Rewards. I know I'm super excited to hit those levels. So virtual tastings, we have all had to get really familiar with that in the last year. And if you are brand new, then this is kind of where you're at. As things might start opening up across the country and changing, our actual in-person tastings are going to change a little bit too. And I'm going to touch on a little bit of that. But what is a virtual tasting? It is us basically doing what we're doing right now, but doing a wine tasting. And I've done them many different ways. And one of the things, there's two things we always want to focus on with the virtual tasting, that if you have a pen and paper, write these two things down, because these should always be top of mind, whether you're doing a virtual tasting, whether you're talking to a new customer, whatever you're doing in One Hope, it's the cause and the wine. Okay. The cause. We are cause centered. We are an impact company. And when you're doing a virtual tasting, sometimes we have wine, sometimes we do not, but we always have one thing. right there. And that is the cause that we are raising money for through the virtual tasting. So you're going to focus on that through the entire event, is what you are raising money for. And that is how you are going to engage your guests of the virtual tasting, is hitting that point every time and talking about the causes of the bottles that we support. And I'll get to that in just a minute. The next thing is going to be the tasting of the wine. Now, sometimes we might be able to have your guests taste wine. I've done a few different kinds of tastings. One of the most fun ones is, many of you might be familiar with our host pack. I'm going to share right now, I don't sell a lot of host packs. My hosts, they buy a case for a cause and it goes towards their event. But one thing that we have right now is a case of mini brutes. It's $89. And if I have a host that is going to do a tasting with people in close vicinity, like I look to my door, like you guys can see that, like my neighbors and such, if I'm doing a neighborhood or the school moms, we kind of just started going back to school. So maybe we all meet on the side street after drop off and I hand out some mini brutes. Actually did one of those as a back to school tasting and it was so much fun. I gave everyone a mini brute and I put a few juice boxes in there and we had a mimosa back to school tasting. We did a pineapple juice, an apple juice. I can't remember the other one, an orange juice. I think those 3 juices, they used their mini brute. I gave them little cups. It was a little kit. It was adorable. And it was super fun. And it was something I was able to give them, a closed bottle that wasn't, giving them, a 4-pack of wine. But it was really engaging and a lot of fun and a way to be creative with the tasting. Another event that, I had someone contact me about doing this. I hadn't even thought of it, but it was someone who, they live in Washington and they have friends from all over the country. And of course, because of the pandemic, they have not been able to do their yearly trips with one another. They haven't been able to get together and they really wanted to find a way to connect. So they very graciously and generously sent 10 couples a 4-pack of our wines. We called it the award-winning 4-pack, and we did like the sparkling brut, a Chardonnay, and 2 red, the Cab and the red blend. And we walked through those and had a really great time doing that. We told them to, our host actually said, I don't want you guys to open the sparkling. I want you to save that for something else. So we just went through the 3 other wines. But getting creative with doing things like that, some of us CEs used to travel to friends' houses in other states even to do tastings for them, and that might not be possible now. So you can have a host who can get a case of wine and maybe focus it on one bottle, one varietal while you're tasting, but you can still talk about all the wines. And as we're talking about cause-centered, during a virtual tasting, you're going to continuously touch on what you're raising money for. National Charity League out here in Las Vegas did one for 60 people. They did a Christmas cookie wine pairing. Some of them had the wines, but they put together little boxes of cookies and they all picked them up and we went through a cookie and wine pairing. Girl Scout cookie season is upon us right now. Your local Girl Scout Girl Scout troops might want to virtually get together and learn how they can pair wines with the cookies. They've already got the cookies. Well, now so your job is to talk about the wines, to entice them, make their mouth water like mine is right now, over this bottle of Monterey Pinot. And when I'm talking about this wine, I'm sharing it with them. I may be pouring it, I may not be pouring it, but the beauty of a virtual tasting is that your guests don't see that you're literally reading the back of the bottle. You guys, it's so simple. This business is a no-brainer. You do not have to know anything and everything about wine. I actually have had cause entrepreneurs that do not drink wine. You don't have to, and you can share that with others. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I am doing a juice cleanse right now and not drinking wine. And so that's why I said my mouth is watering because it is killing me watching you all cheers. And my husband and I decided to do this the other day and I was like, oh, but I'm doing the virtual tasting part. So I'm going to literally be teaching you how to all be very descriptive without tasting it. And maybe like we talked about, you signed up and you hadn't even tried the wines, some of you. So you want to share it with your friends, read the back of the bottles. This beautiful Monterey Pinot has dried cranberry, preserved cherry, sassafras, and truffle, and supports Alzheimer's research. And that is what you're going to do. You're going to literally, we have a red blend right here, you guys, these bottles. And I even love to show off our bottles in a virtual tasting and put it right up to the screen. And I show them how cute Mari has made our labels, and literally read it. You do not have to be a wine expert to do a virtual tasting. They are going to want to have one of these bottles in their hands. I promise you, especially when I always say, okay, you guys, this pairs so well with grilled bacon burgers, berry pie, and shooting stars. What other wine bottles do you have that tell you that they pair with shooting stars? It's about being engaging, doing some fun things. Now, oh, I was trying to keep up wine for, I did try that, David, I did. And my husband was like, no, we're doing this together. I begged him to do the juice cleanse. And so I have water, but mind you, in a couple days, I will be having my fermented juice. So those are some ways to really get people engaged in doing virtual tastings. I've had huge success with them. It's all about raising money for the cause. And what we focus on right now, Tracy is shoving it in my face right now as she pours her Monterey Pinot. As we focus on, a lot of nonprofits are having a really hard time because they can't do their big galas. They can't do all these events. You are there to help them. Use that as a tool. We had 60 people on a National Charity League wine tasting. We did 2 different ones, 2 different nights, and they all came on around the holidays, and they had their Christmas cookies. Some of them already had some One Hope wine, would open it up, but really it was talking about the wines, but really focusing on raising money for the cause. And that is what you're going to do in a virtual tasting, reaching out to anyone you know who is with a nonprofit, runs a nonprofit, wants to raise money for their kids' teams. I have a son who is a hockey player, and we are having to get creative in raising money for the team. So we're doing virtual tastings. It was really, we raised $1,000 for the hockey teams over the holidays. So they can be very successful as long as they are cause-centered and you teach them about the wines and give them some kind of information, which literally is at your fingertips. So moving to, some of us might be doing in-person tastings, but those look a little bit different right now too, don't they? We aren't walking around. People might not want you to get right there super close to them pouring. Your audience is always going to be different. I've done them many different ways. Before, here in Vegas, before we were kind of really shut down, I had done one outdoors on a patio, and I did go around and pour, but the most fun aspect was we had a contest for the cutest glass, because I used to bring the glasses to my wine tastings, but I'm not going to take anyone's glass home and wash it, and didn't want to get into that. So I said, you all bring your cutest wine glass, and we voted, and I had a little prize, you know, little cute cocktail napkins or something. Prizes can be super inexpensive at Target. And I handed them out to the winner of, and I let them all vote. I was like, you guys all have to vote. I'm not going to choose because you're all friends, and they had to write it. It was secret. It was super fun. It was very competitive. And so we did it that way. Another one is my husband's office. He has a very large office, and we have like tables in a classroom spread out. So we have the ability to do a very spaced out tasting where everyone's 6 feet apart. But what I did is I prepared those, you know, souffle cups, like you get your ranch dip in when you order at a like to go. So they have them at Smart and Final, and I just prepared little boxes for each person and put the 5 different tastings in there in a tasting notes sheet and had it at their table when they were ready. So there was no pouring. I did it with gloves and just kept it very, very sanitary, and nobody had to share or walk around. They stayed in their seat and did their tasting. So the key here is gauge your setting, your audience, the nonprofit, whatever the situation, go outside of your box, outside of your comfort zone, and get creative. And if you need ideas, we have a lot of leaders here who are always available to help with ideas and support you through putting on an event in a different way, because that is what it's all about right now, is just doing everything the way we need to. And we have didn't we have like our biggest month ever? It was a few months ago. It goes to show that this pandemic is not going to slow down our wine business. It's actually helping. So focusing on getting that wine to their door, brainstorm with your hosts, whatever you need to do. But there are a lot of opportunities and options for putting on a virtual wine tasting. I think I covered most of the things. Another cute one I had is like a little charcuterie class, because I am obsessed with charcuterie. So that's actually going to be my next one that you could even pair with like a mini brute or something, is putting the items. It can be super inexpensive and just, little, a couple pieces of salami, a couple pieces of cheese, and showing them how to arrange it on a plate. There's YouTube videos on how to do it and stuff too. So does anyone have questions about a virtual tasting? This is the key to earning those Rutherford rewards. Part of that is because at your tastings, that's where you're meeting your future hosts. That's where you're meeting your future CEs. So the fact that they can see that you can actually do this business without having to go into their home and do a traditional tasting is just an easier way for you to grow your teams and gain more hosts. Does anyone have anything on that? Really? I covered it all? You guys are all going to go have awesome virtual tastings this week, right? Okay.
And like we say too, the tastings are really the cheese and crackers of your business. Like they really, really are. There's a lot of people who jump on and are like, oh, I see that we can do corporate gifting. Yes, that's great. But you know what? You're not going to get those clients until you know what you're talking about. You have to do a tasting, at least do, once a month. Minimum, I would say, depending on where it is that you want to be. But tastings are, and they're fun. And now that you don't even have to leave your house, you don't have to drive there. You can just roll in and be like, I'm pouring wine, and then roll back out and have some dinner now. It's pretty fun.
You can do it in your pajama pants, you guys. Seriously, I have done it in my pajama pants.
And there's so many different wines too. I don't know if everybody's had the opportunity to look through the catalog, look through the website. My new focus is when CEs join, what you need to know is all on your onehopewine.com website. Don't go down a bunny rabbit hole and try to find everything else about every single thing. Look what your customers are going to see, and it's all on the website. Know your website, check out your wines. You can filter, like when you go into all wine, you can click filter and you can sort by cab, you can sort by Pinot. We have so many of each one of those that you could do a whole tasting on them. So your first tasting might want to be, maybe it's the 4 to your door and you're doing the top 4 like Charla did. And then after that, you can be like, oh, you guys all like the Pinots. Let's do a Pinot party, a Pinot patio party. Kind of just do something like that. There's so many different options to do on there too. So there's never should be a dull moment.
I loved how Charlotte was saying that you did that tasting and that it was 4 to your door, but you're like, oh, a typical host kit is 6 bottles. So, gee, we're just tapping into this. So does anybody else want to be the next best host? Because we've only done 4 wines tonight and we have this catalog of so many more wines. And that's such a great way to get your next host.
It is. And even when we're doing, right, whether you're doing in person or virtual or whatever it is, we have so many wines. Even when you're doing 6, I always tell them, you guys, we have so many more wines, or, and they ask how many of you, for those of us who've been doing this a while, you do a wine tasting and sure enough, they want to taste what you did not bring, right?
Every time.
That is your segue into, well, let's do that one at your wine tasting.
Mm-hmm. Or also too, it is your job to know what the wines taste like. So you should, and you can tell if somebody's really digging on that Merlot, that Vintner Merlot. You might be like, you know what, our Napa Valley one's a little bit better. It's a little bit deeper. It's a little more robust in flavor. You know, do the little upsell. You're going to get a little more commission, and then there's going to be more impact for your cause as well. So,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, David says he's setting up a wine Wednesday tasting, 2 wines per week. Suggestions of pre-event sales. What does that mean? David, do you want to unmute and just speak that?
Sure. I'm setting up a weekly Wednesday wine tasting. So I'm going to abbreviate it WOW, Wine on Wednesday. And my thought is having 2 wines to present each week. I'm just wondering how I can get people to purchase them so that they can taste along with me.
I would suggest having them do like commit to your 2 weeks at a time and maybe doing a 4-pack. You can let them know, here's my schedule for the month. We're doing these two, the first week we're doing the Brut and the sparkling rosé. We're doing a sparkling tasting. The second week we're doing a white wine tasting with the Sauv Blanc, the Pinot Grigio and the Chardonnay. Or the third week we're doing our red tasting. However you do it, give them a schedule and let them know you can purchase these by the week, or you know what, you can purchase the whole month's worth and get a discount on it and get 10% off your 6, or, you could do a 3-month or 6 weeks, 6 weeks, in a row, and then they can get the whole case. And that's kind of a way to pre-sell it and let them know, say, bring a friend, invite a friend over and open these bottles of wine. I love keeping it to 2 because they're not afraid to open the 2. If you don't finish the white, you finish it the next, either one, you finish it the next night. I know that's something like my husband and I would do, or we've gotten together with a few friends. And when it's 2 or 3 bottles, we have no problem opening them all. Because you're going to consume those. One person purchasing 6 and opening them all at once. So I love that you're doing 2 at a time. And I think that that's manageable, but trying to encourage them, to commit to these weeks. Maybe tell them that you're doing these on Zoom, I assume. Yes? No, or are you doing them?
I've yet to determine.
Okay, well, if you do them on Zoom, you could video them and tell your guests, even if you guys miss it, if you pre-patch, you can watch the video of it. So they can see what you're going through. And that way you have that to offer them, and they'll want to walk through that. That would be my suggestion.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jane, do you want to share what you just wrote in the chat?
Sure. If you look on your dashboard, I think it's on the dashboard, or at least on your page somewhere, One Hope does it's weekly, every 2 weeks? Weekly. But they have the wines listed that they're going to go through, and they have a happy hour where 2 people, sometimes Taylor and Garrett or Mari, or they do it with a cause entrepreneur, but they'll go through 2 wines and talk about the wines and just kind of make it fun. I think it's on One Hope, the One Hope page, not the community page, but on the One Hope public page. But you could watch that, pick up a lot of tips from those, and then maybe do your tastings the next night, because you would have gathered all this information from watching and listening to the tips and the way they sold each wine or talked about each wine that you could then share on your groups. But they're even promoted as, hey, if you want to go through all of them, here's the wines in the order that we're going to be taking them, or you can build a case that includes these. So it's a great way to kind of help get yourself a little training before you go through them too, to just match it up with that.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
The other one is doing the wine club. And that's something, if you wanted to follow through the wine club wines and do 2 of those a week, then those who join your wine club ahead of time, they're going to get the 20% off the 6. So you're able to offer them a little extra discount by doing this tasting with you. So kind of an encouragement of, and that's actually the next one I'm doing is a wine club tasting, and 2 wines per week, but you've got, new wine club customers, and they're getting that 20% off the 6 instead of the 10%. So it's a little added bonus for them to try some new fun wines.
They're also getting free shipping, and if they subscribe to the wine club, not just order that, but if they stick with the subscription, then they're also getting free shipping on all the wine they purchase all year, 4+ bottles at a time, whether it's for them or somebody else. And they're going to get double reward points. So they'll get 10% back. So they get 20% off, but they're getting another 10% back into their wine bank, I call it, so that the next time they order something, they've got all this reward credit stocked up. So it's a great way to pitch it, whatever, to say, you know, do the wine club or build a subscription with what you just bought if you really like it, because you'll get double reward points and free shipping all year, at least on
Awesome.
4+ bottles. So if people really like wine, I mean, I hate the expression, it's a no-brainer, but it is a no-brainer to set up a subscription, not necessarily for the wine club, but a DIY subscription, because all year long, whether you're sending wine to somebody else or to yourself, you get free shipping and you double up on the reward. So 10% right back in the bank with every purchase. And they can set
Sweet.
their own timing. So they can set it to come even every 4 months if they want. But then if they want something else in between, they can change the quantity, they can change the timing, they can change the bottles. It's super flexible. And they get lots and lots of perks for it.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'm just going to add one more quick thing to that, is that when you let everybody know whatever your plan is, David, just make sure you give them a call to action to, hey, we're going to order by this date, to make sure that you get your wine in time for blah, blah, blah. And so many times people don't order wine because they just forget. It's not on their list of things to do. So make sure you follow up and connect with each of those people to say, hey, I really hope you can join us at this event. I'm going to be trying this. Do you want to join us? Great. Then this is the day we need to get the order in.
That's perfect. And that leads us right into your calls of action tonight. So we went through a lot of information. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, Jennifer, you will end up being your best customer because you can set up your subscription. And remember, Wine Club is also the curated wine club. Plus, it's also, you can create your own and ship it however you want it. So it's amazing. So with that being said, we want to see what your plans are. So we want you to send a copy. If you're still in Fast Start, we want you to share your Fast Start worksheet with your upline leader who's on this call. So if you're on Viva Vino, send it to Charla. If you're on Teams In It to Win It, send it to myself. Quirks and Causes, send it to Tracy Manning. Pouring with Purpose, send it to Heidi Jacoby. Send us this, which is your Fast Start program worksheet, and have it filled out. Also, in the back office, for those of you that may be new, they just updated the business planning and goal setting sheet. This is very, very helpful. So you can kind of figure out in your like 90-day plan of like, what is it that you want to do? What do you want to achieve? Even in like a monthly, like 90 days are kind of good because, you know, you don't want to maybe do the whole year because you're like, oh, things could change. So you have to focus on the small bits. If you want to become a national executive director with One Hope, which every single one of you, I hope, do and becomes that. In addition to that, in order to get there, you have to take bite-sized pieces to get here, here, and here. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to work that out? This business planning and goal setting sheet is awesome. Definitely send this to your upline leader too, if you've printed this out. If you have not done one-on-ones with your upline or your upline's upline, who, depending on how your team is structured, reach out to them. But we definitely want to see your Fast Start planning guide first. And see how you're going to get to whatever month you're in by the end of this month, because it's the 22nd and the end of the month is on the 28th. I recap the system is on Central Standard Time. So that means at 11:59 Central Standard Time is the last time to put in your orders. I like to share with my team to make sure you try to get where you want to go by the day before the last day of the month. Because in that last day, you're like, okay, I made it. I made it to director. I made it to this. Anything else after that is gravy. This is literally when the magic happens. The last week of the month, the last couple days of the month, that's kind of when like people are like, you know what, I can do this. Like I'm going for it. And that's when it happens. But definitely, try to get it done. Set yourself, just back up that one day. We're short a couple days in the month of February. So just back up that one day. And go for it. And let's hope you all get to level 1 of the rewards for Rutherford by the end of February, because that would be awesome. And we can't wait to see that. So any last comments, Charlotte, Tracy, or Heidi, or anybody?
I just want to say I'm so proud that we only did this for an hour and 15 minutes. Did that really just happen?
It did.
Oh, I'm impressed with us. That's just what I'm going to say.
We're going to have to do this again.
Definitely.
We are, yes. Yes.
Thank you all for taking the time to be here and, invest this hour into your business. That says a lot, and it shows that you guys are going to grow and have an awesome March too.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Excited for what you guys are going to do, and make sure you reach out to each of us and so we can help you rock out the rest of the month. Got plenty of time.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank
Cheers,
you so
y'all.
much.
Cheers.
Hard to